Welcome to this training session on CISA Domain 1 and Part B, Audit Execution. Today we will focus on the practical execution of an IS audit from planning and risk assessment to evidence collection, testing, reporting and follow-up. The objective is to connect CISA examination concepts with practical audit execution. Now, effective audit project management starts with alignment. The audit must support governance priorities and risk management objectives. We then focus on efficient delivery through resource optimization and clear communication while maintaining quality assurance and appropriate use of technology. Remember, the core audit sequence is planning, fieldwork, analysis, reporting and follow-up. From a CISA exam perspective, always connect the audit objective with risk assessment, business process, audit procedures, control evaluation, findings and finally reporting. Now, planning phase. Planning establishes the foundation of the audit. We understand the entity and environment, define the objectives, assess risks and materiality, evaluate controls, develop the audit strategy, assign resources, establish communication protocols and document the entire planning process. During field work, auditors perform procedures, collect evidence, conduct interviews and observe processes. Working papers must clearly demonstrate what was tested, how it was tested, what evidence was obtained and what conclusion was reached. If it is not documented, demonstrating the work becomes difficult. Now, fraud, irregularities and illegal acts is an important professional principle is that controls reduce fraud risks but not eliminate it. Auditor must apply professional care, understand fraud risk factors, evaluate control effectiveness, escalate suspicious activity and recommend investigation or governance escalation when circumstances require it. Sampling methodology. Sampling allows auditors to test a representative subset instead of the entire population. A statistical sampling provides quantifiable sampling risks while non-statistical sampling relies more on professional judgment. For the exam, remember, attribute sampling generally relates to controls, while variable sampling relates to substantive testing. Now, risk-based sampling. Risk-based sampling focuses audit effort where exposure is greatest, for example, critical systems, high-value transactions and privileged accounts. Sample size depends on factors such as population size, confidence level, expected error rate and materiality. Poor selection can create sampling bias and incorrect conclusion. Now, compliance versus substantive testing. Compliance testing evaluates whether controls exist and operate effectively. Substantive testing evaluates the accuracy and completeness of data or transactions. A key exam relationship is strong controls generally require less substantive testing while weak controls require more substantive testing. Audit evidence. Good audit evidence must be sufficient, appropriate, objective and documented. Evidence can come from document review, interviews, observation, performance, data analytics, confirmation, and corroboration. The auditor should seek reliable evidence that directly support the audit conclusion. Now, CIATS, Computer Assisted Audit Techniques, or CIATS, enhance audit efficiency, accuracy, and scale. They support data extraction, control testing, trend analysis, and fraud detection. Examples include generalized audit software, scanning tools, debugging software, and test data approaches. Continuous audit techniques. Continuous audit techniques allow auditors to monitor selected transactions or processes on an ongoing basis. Key techniques include ITF, SCAR, snapshot, audit hook, and CIS. These approaches help identify exceptions and provide more timely assurance over technology-enabled processes. Now, audit reporting and exit interview. An effective audit report should be clear, concise, relevant, objective, and actionable. It should communicate scope, methodology, findings, risks, root causes, recommendations, and management responses. The exit interview validates facts, clarifies disagreements, and agrees implementation dates. It is not a forum to suppress findings. Now, the follow-up and CSA. Follow-up confirms whether management has actually addressed reported issues. Auditors track findings, verify corrective actions, retest control, and escalate overdue matters. Control self-assessment, strength, ownership, and awareness. But remember, control self-assessment complements independent audit. It doesn't replace independent assurance. Finally, for the CISA exam, remember the complete audit execution scene: risks, controls, evidence, testing, findings, reporting, and follow-up. Also remember the distinction between compliance and substantive testing. The importance of CIATS and continuous auditing, the supporting role of CSA. To conclude, effective audit execution is fundamentally about delivering objective, risk-based, evidence-supported assurance that aligns with organizational objectives. As auditors, our value is not simply identifying weaknesses, it is providing reliable assurance and helping the organization extend its control environment. Thank you, and I welcome your question.